It's time now for Real Estate Update. With Usha Chandra of GlobeNet Realty, real estate is our world.
Now we're standing here face to face, afraid to move or else.
And ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to this segment and as we bring to you the real estate update with Usha Chandra. With that, welcome to the show, Usha.
Thank you so much for having me on the show, Mesh, and Australian Indian Radio.
Well, it is a lot that's been happening out there, and we know that the market, as you mentioned last time, still pretty hot, and there's the property trends are still up there. So if you look at the national index, so as of probably, the reports are coming in around the end of April. So around 30th of April, what would be the national index be at?
Yeah, the dwelling changes at 30th of April. Sydney for the month was 2.4%, and the annual was 7.5%. Total return was 10.1%, and median price was 950,457, and which shows a lot of increase in Sydney market. It was in the 800s before, and 950 was the median price. Melbourne is 1.3% was the monthly change. Annual change was 2.2%, and the median value is 744,679. Brisbane was monthly change was 1.7%, and the annual change was 8.3%, which was quite high, and the total returns was 12.8%, and median price was 558,000, so which is increased as well. Adelaide is 2.2% was the monthly change, and the annual change was 10.3%, and the total return was 14.9%. 492,000 was the median price. Perth was 0.8% was the monthly change. The annual change was 6.7%, and total returns was 11.5%, and 513,000 was the median price. Hobart was 1% was the monthly change, and the annual change was 13.8%. So total returns was 19.2%. 561,000 was their median price. Darwin was 2.7% was the monthly change, and annual change was 15.3%, which was quite high. Total returns was 21.4%, and their median price is 466,000. Canberra was 1.9% was the monthly change, and annual change was quite high, 14.2%, and total returns was 18.7%, and their median price is 734,000. So the combined capital cities, the monthly change was 1.8%, and the annual change was 6.4%. So the total returns was 9.8%, and the median sale price was 705,000, and combined regional was 1.9% was the monthly change, and the annual change was 13%, which was quite high, and the total returns was 18.2%, and the median price was 457,000, so $458,000. So the combined national was monthly change was 1.8%, and the annual change was 7.8%. So the total returns was 11.4%, and the median price was 625,000. So that shows the increase in the total median price in the last 12 months as well, and the monthly change was quite high as well.
And it is quite interesting to see that Melbourne at 5.3, and that was predicted. If you look at what are some of the predictions that we were making when we were going through these graphs, and that what would happen there, that's at 5.3, and the highest is Darwin at 21.4. So that's quite good, even though the median price there is 465 and the median price in Melbourne is still quite high, 704, which is above the national average, which is 624,997. Well, it is quite interesting to see and note that these are quite interesting times in real estate. Well, the other equation of real estate, as we know all the time people talk about, is the rents. So what has the rents been doing, when we again compare what we did last slide was for the sales and now for the rentals. So, what have the changes been in rents?
Yeah, the rentals is quite good actually. The median price in Sydney is $570 per week, and the 12-month change was minus 0.2%. 0.2%. Melbourne was 443, so Melbourne rent is quite low compared to Sydney markets, and their change was the 12-month change was minus 3%. Brisbane is $463 per week compared to Melbourne. Brisbane rental prices is quite high actually, and 4.2% was the monthly change. So it's very good for landlords to invest in Brisbane. Adelaide was $419 per week, and the monthly 12-month change was 4.9%. Quite high, good rental returns there. Perth was $456 per week, and the monthly change was 0.2%, and the 12-month change was 14.2%. So look at the Perth market. Hobart was $486 per week, and 2.2% was the monthly change, and 3.8% was the annual change. Darwin was $519 per week, and 2.4% was the monthly change. And look at Darwin, 16.5% was the 12-month change. Extremely high over there. Canberra is $612 per week is the current weekly rent. 1.3% was the monthly change, and the 12-month change was 5.1%. Combined capitals was the medium rent was $481, and the monthly change was 0.8%, and the 12-month change was 2.2%. So combined regionals was $431 per week, and the monthly change was 1.4%, and the 12-month change was 8.6%, which was quite high. Quite high in the regional areas. So the national average median price is $466 per week, and the monthly change was 1%, and the 12-month change was 3.9%. So if you're looking at the graph, look at the returns, and the prices in rentals is quite high compared to Melbourne's, Brisbane, and looking at Darwin, the rent is quite high. Canberra is extremely high, $612 per week, and so shows how the rental market is changed. So the gross yield for the 12 months in Sydney was 2.96%, and then 12 month was 3.2%, and then Brisbane was 4.41%, Adelaide was 4.5%, Perth was 4.3%, and then Hobart was 5.2%, Darwin was 5.86%, Canberra was 4.79%, and the combined capital cities was 3.46%. So that shows the increase in the rental market as well.
Okay, yes, it is quite interesting to see that the yields, if we compare to 12 months ago, so the bottom line is 12 months ago it was 3.76, and the current yield is 3.55. So considering what's happening in the market, that's still quite good. And of course that has been averaged out against all the cities, and that's why it's come to that median price there, which is still quite good, the 3.55% gross yields.
Yeah.
So that's the current compared to the 3.76, which was okay. So now to gauge the activities that happen in the real estate market, we normally look at the auction stats, even though there are many areas and many suburbs which might not be suited to auction. But overall, as a rule of thumb, the way to gauge a market is the auction results. So what has the auction results been lately?
Auction results in Sydney is very stable, 82.1%, which was last week as well. The results are pretty good there. Total auctions were taken at 777 auctions, and out of all that clears was 519 auctions sold under the hammer. Melbourne was 76.1%, whereas 925 properties were taken to auction, and the 586 were cleared auction under the hammer. Brisbane was 76.2%, 105 auctions were taken to the market, and only 64 sales were cleared under the auction terms. Adelaide was 72.5%. Total auctions were 167 auctions were taken to market, and the auction result over 74 only sold under the hammer, whereas Perth was not applicable. Only a very limited number of properties were taken for sale, only 9 auctions, and then 4 were cleared. Tasmania was the same as well, 3 auctions and 0 clearance rate. Canberra was 97.7%. It's very stable actually. Last week was 97.8%. This week is 97.7%. So the total number of auctions were 55 and 43 were cleared auctions. So looking at the average results of clearance rate was 78.5%. 2,041 properties were taken to auction, and 1,290 properties sold under the hammer. So the results is quite good. I mean, compared to Melbourne market, the Melbourne market auction result was a little bit down compared to last week. Sydney is pretty stable. Brisbane is similar results. So that shows the results of the auction last week.
Well, it is once again, it is quite interesting. So if you look at the first two, which is the clearance rate and total auctions, then on the right hand side, the separate graph of the same thing last year. So, and if you look at the bottom, so last year the clearance rate was 41.1% compared to 78.5% this year, which is amazing. And the total number of auctions, as you've just said, this year currently is 2041 compared to the same time last year where there was only 413. So that shows what's happening out there in the market. So that was quite interesting to compare just the first two sections and the last two, that separate graph which is there as well. Wow, that is amazing. So that just shows what's happening on the market at this point in time. Because if you look at the clearance rate of 41% compared to 78% now, and total auctions to 2,041 as compared to last year 413 only. Wow. Looking at the year-to-date changes, etc. in the 5 combined capitals, what has that been like?
So the changes in the Sydney market was 0.5%. So that was a weekly change, but the year-to-date change was 8.7%. Melbourne was the weekly change was only 0.4%, and 12-month change was 1.8%. Brisbane was 0.4%, and the year-to-date change was 8%. Adelaide was 0.5%, and the 12-month change was 10%, which is quite high. Perth was 0.3%, and 12-month change was 8.6%. So the combined 5 capital cities, the weekly change was only 0.5%, and the 12-month change was 5.7%. So looking at the markets, the change is a little bit lower compared to last week's change.
Well, the better way to look at it is the year-to-date change as well, which is quite interesting, and the 12-month change. So year-to-date is the financial year they're going by, which is a 7.2% rise there. But if you just look at the 12-month, that is from now till the last 12 months, is 5.7%, which is quite good. So overall, I think the market is doing very well at 7.2%.
Exceptionally well.
Well, right now, let's talk about finance. So what's been happening there? Because as we know, unless people get finance, they can't buy properties. So, and there's been lots of talks about, how tight some of the lending criteria have become.
Yes, the finance industry is really tough at the moment. The interest rate is on hold, so that's extremely good news for first home buyers or owner occupiers. The young ones have got a lot of problems in getting finance, so they're looking for mum and dad to help them as a guarantor or pay the deposit. So that's what the market is doing at the moment. The lenders are taking long time, 30 to 40 days to approve finance, and they require a lot of information from the applicants, and they are looking at people shouldn't have any credit cards. If they have got credit cards, please pay all your credit cards, because the banks will look that as a big liability. So looking at finance for young ones, mum and dad, we are seeing a lot of mum and dads are helping their children to get into a home, and they are doing guarantors or whatever it takes them to get a house for their children. It's a tough market for young ones to buy, because the prices have increased so much, and people are paying 100,000 to 80 to 100,000 more than what they were paying before. So that's a tough market at the moment. Let's watch a report which shows how the mum and dads are helping and what's the finance industry is doing.
When musicians Kate Goldby and Zach Anthony needed help buying their first home, they asked their parents.
It would have been probably another 10 years of dedicated savings to be able to get even, a 5% deposit for places as they, prices were just going up and up and up.
The answer was music to their ears. Zach's dad agreed to sign up as a guarantor for the loan.
And so that meant that we were able to sort of get out of the rental market and get into our own place.
A guarantor home loan is when a family member uses their home equity as security to boost the buyer's cash deposit. It means the buyer avoids paying costly lender's mortgage insurance, and if they default on the loan, the guarantor is liable for the repayments.
Over the last 3 years, we've seen about 70% of my first home buyer clients receiving help from their parents, either with a non-refundable gift or a security guarantee, family pledge guarantee.
The Big Four banks say the number of first-time buyers using guarantor loans has remained steady. 20% a year at the Commonwealth Bank, 15% at Westpac, 11% at ANZ and only 1% at NAB, where instead 40% of home buyers need to pay for lender's mortgage insurance.
The lender wants to see 5% of genuine savings to show that they've been saving themselves. But if there's more than 10% deposit, generally the lender doesn't mind where it's come from.
The banks don't keep data on cash loans or gifts. Research suggests the Bank of Mum and Dad is now unofficially the country's 9th biggest lender. Housing analyst Martin North says it's a regulatory blind spot.
If you're very fortunate to be in the category where your parents have cash they can give you, then you can go buy a property. But my concern relates to those who don't have access to that.
In the March quarter, 60% of first-home buyers got a leg up from the Bank of Mum and Dad, the highest level since his research began. The average amount of money parents contributed was $89,000. The extra cash from Mum and Dad gives first home buyers more borrowing power, and there's concern that's contributing to the current buying frenzy and affecting house prices. Values across the country have continued to rise. Last month they grew by 1.8%, but the pace of growth has eased from a 32-year high in March. Sydney, Adelaide and Darwin recorded the biggest monthly increases. The national median property value is now more than $600,000, but as much as $950,000 in the most expensive capital city, Sydney.
My research says that people who got such a gift from parents or a loan from parents are 3 times more likely to default on their loan over the subsequent 5 years. And if prices do come off their tops later, They could even end up in negative equity. So for all those reasons, I think we should be very cautious. And yes, I think the regulators should be looking at this very seriously.
Kate and Zach recently sold their house, released Zach's dad as guarantor, and are building their dream house on the coast.
Bamboo. Yeah, that's bamboo floorboards.
We've got a bigger place. We've got room for, everyone has their own bedroom. We've got a studio. We've got 20-minute walk to the beach. It's going to be, really nice.
For this young family, it's been a risk that's paid off.
And once again, so that's the bank of mom and dad. What do you say?
Yes, actually a lot of children are relying on mom and dad's bank, and it's great that a lot of mom and dads can help the children in getting into their own homes, but the risk is there as well. I mean, if they haven't got the savings, I hope that all the children can pay their loans and repay off their mom and dad's bank loan. Thank you.
Well, that is of course quite true. But right now, let's go and take a look at what you have in plan for your open houses for this weekend.
Yes, we have got three actually amazing properties on the rental market this week. I mean, on the rental market as well, plus the sales market. We have got a couple of open houses. First of all, I will talk about the sales. 137 Zilmia Road in Bundle, and that's on the market for offers over 500. It's on 670 square meter block, 3 bedrooms home. It's a corner location, great property for business. So that's open at 10 to 10:30 on Saturday. And the second one we have got open house is 2295 Sandgate Road, which has got a large, huge family home on 997 square meter block with dual living. So 4 bedrooms upstairs. It's got solar panels, full granny flat downstairs with 2 bedrooms, a home office as well, 3 bathrooms, 4 toilets, multiple car accommodations. So this is open at 11 o'clock. The next one, I've just listed it yesterday, and that is in Sandgate. It's got city views. It's in number 44 Loudon Street, right in the heart of Sandgate town, and minutes to walk to the water and all the amenities as well. The railway station is 500 meters walk only. The shopping centers are right in there within 2-3 minutes walk. So that one is got glimpses of the city, mountain views, first time offered on the market in 40 years. So that's on the market, offers over 775,000, and it's open at 12 o'clock this coming Saturday, and I'm pretty sure somebody will grab that property because it's an amazing location. Looking at our rentals, we have got only one rental on the market at the moment for open house on Saturday. That's at 9:15 to 9:30, and that's at 59 Silky Oak Crescent in Fitzgibbon. This refurbished with brand new paint, new carpets, and that's on the market for $550 per week. Walking distance to railway station, Castle Line railway station, and it's amazing property with 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and 2 car lockup with 2 living areas. So that's our open houses for the weekend. And if anybody is thinking of selling or buying, please contact us, or renting as well. Contact us on 3865-4466, and we are offering free marketing at the moment on realestate.com, domain.com, our website, photographs, signboards. That's all inclusive. So free marketing, no marketing charges at all, even in the rentals or the sales. So please contact either Vicky or myself on 3865-4466.
Isn't that wonderful for all these sellers that they're getting all these things, as a bonus at this point in time? And the big bonus is the good property market, the amazing prices they're getting. So what better time to sell than now?
Actually, now is the right time.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so that's been the weekly real estate update with Usha Chandra. Usha, once again, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
GlobeNet Realty. GlobeNet Realty has been the longest established, trusted and respected agency in its trade area. Usha Chandra, Director of GlobeNet Realty, provides honest and ethical service to her customers. If you are thinking of investing in Brisbane real estate market, or if you are seeking professional property management, then you should contact Usha Chandra today on landline 3865 4466 or mobile 0419 775 416. And for further updates, log on to our website www.globenetralty.com.au. GlobeNet Realty is your own local real estate agency. Situated at Shop 52281 Sandgate Road, Boondall. GlobeNet Realty. Real estate is our world.